Alright, I'm back out here again. So today's project's to get in there and start working on the defroster. I bought some 5/8 heater hose and I got the bulkhead connectors already made. So I need to get that out and get the exhaust pipe in. So I'm going to take that window out right now. Alright, so I got this piece of cardboard that roughly follows this front edge. I want to make this bolt in and out of the dash so I can service it if I want to. So I need to weld in a strip that I can bolt the dash to. But first I need this strip and another strip, and you'll see. Alright, so I've used that template to lay out this small strip. I need to put that in and weld that around the front window. So I'm going to cut it out now and then start fitting it up there. Alright, so I got that piece in here clamped on. I'm going to come in and stitch it in, and this will give me a place to bolt my dash to. Alright, so I got it tacked across there, and I've added this piece of round bar to make it strong. So I'm going to stitch this round bar in, and then that'll give me a place to put fasteners to hold the dash down. Most dashes you got to take the window out to take the dash out anyway, so this will give me a place to lay a piece on and then connect to the defroster tubes and then scab out to the dash. Alright, so I got the round bar all welded. So it's real strong right now. So I got some thicker material and I'm going to cut it so I can come out and then grab the exhaust tubes. I'm just trying to get the defroster part of it done, but I'm going to grab the exhaust tubes and then scab off to the dash. Alright, I got the piece that's going to end up being bolted for the dash on there, and so it'll be removable. So I've left it long so I can figure out how the heater tubes are actually going to sit in there, and now I need to get that bolted down. I think I need to go to the hardware store and get some mounting hardware for it, because I really don't want it to be like really super noticeable, and I need to do it now. So I'm gonna get it mounted. I'm gonna go get some hardware. I'm gonna get it mounted on there, and then after that I can actually get to the defroster, mounting the defroster box and sitting down there and mounting the defroster tubes. Alright, so this is what I went after there. I cut they got a little T, they're supposed to be beat into wood or plastic or whatever, but I'm going to cut all the little spikes off, and then I got stainless bolts too, so I'm going to drill all the way through and then weld this to that support that I put down there on the bottom. So I'm going to drill holes all the way through here and then take it apart and then weld these down to the bottom piece, and then I'll be able to bolt it up and then move on to the defroster. Alright, I laid out all the holes and drilled them across there. Now I'll take it up and I'll drill the bigger size so those T-nuts can drop. Alright, so I used the grinder there, cut all the little tabs off, and I drilled an oversized hole that fits that shank, and I've done it all the way across. So now I have large, long length boss. Instead of just like 3 threads, I got plenty of threads here, and it just drops in the hole. Now I'm going to come in and stitch those 2 places that the tabs were, and then I'll be able to bolt that dash piece. This is how the dash is going to bolt up on the front. Alright, so they all were tacked in those 3 places the tab were cut off, and then they were ground flat. all the way across. So now I got places to mount that plate so the dash can come in and out. Alright, so I got all the bolts tight, and they're all stainless, so because they're going to be seen. But this is going to be my front edge of my dash. I got it long right now because the next step is to weld this piece to the exhaust tubing to make a defroster. So I'm going to make the defroster welded into the dash. It'll come on and off with the dash. But I need to cut this back and then weld those exhaust tubes in and then drill the holes. You know, like 1/2 inch holes, so it'll actually exhaust onto the windshield. But now I can start scabbing out to my dash. But what we want to do is get that defroster box in and get all the defroster stuff done. That's the plan for now. Alright, I made a header out of the exhaust tube, and I've cut this back to fit the header. It's actually like 4 straight lines. I'm going to put it up there and I'm going to tack it on, and it'll be welded. The header, I'll cap the end, I'll weld it to that plate there. Alright, I got the defroster header tube tacked in there. So I'm going to weld it to that plate and then grind it. Alright, so I got the exhaust tube blended and welded into that piece there. So this will be the defroster vent. I'll drill 1/2 inch holes strategically through there, and then the dash will get built off this way. But so I'm ready to go inside and mount that heater box, and then figure out where I'm gonna connect the tubes. So anyway, this part's done. It's all blended in there, and the dash will be removable. Alright, it's time to mount the heater box. So I made me a cardboard template. I'm gonna make a couple mounts out of steel, and then mount the box up under the dash. Well, I had to modify the bracket there because that squirrel cage motor has to breathe air, so it's been modified. Now I just gotta put it up in there. I've already ground it. Put it up there and weld it in. I'm gonna go ahead and do that now, and then probably work on getting the bulkhead connectors welded in. Alright, so I got the heater box mounted in here, and I'm gonna work on connecting the pipes onto this header tube. So I gotta cut them, the tubes, so I can get the coupler things to go on there. Yeah. So I got them all marked out here. I know this just by doing it before. So I got them marked out how I want them, close enough I can weld them together. I'm going to cut them with that razor wheel, and then once I get them up where I want them, I'll hole saw, so the air can go into the header. Alright, so I got the header marked there where I want my pipes to come into. And so I'm going to take the header out now. I'm going to cut this out and weld these in. And the pipes will come over, connect, and there'll be no holes drilled on top of where they come in, so they have to, there'll be holes here and holes there. So it has to come up and disperse out so it goes straight up. So I got a plan. Pull the header out and cut them and get my pieces that I got made welded on. and I'll put it back in. Well, I ended up just using the grinder and whacking holes out in the header for the air to get through. Now I'm gonna go in here and weld my intake tubes in, and I'm gonna cap the ends off of this header. Alright, I come in with the flap disc there and I smoothed it out, so I'm ready to weld the pieces on. Well, I got the header tube all welded. So we're going to stick it in there, fold it back in. So I got the holes drilled in the firewall there. Weld in my bulkhead connectors. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Alright, I got the bulkhead connectors welded on there. They're not going anywhere. So be able to run the heater lines out. And I think it's going pretty well. Alright, so I test fit the heater hose. Make sure it works. So we're looking pretty good off the bulkhead connectors. And then it's doing okay running out there to the front too, so they're looking pretty good where the bulkhead connectors came out. Now the only thing left for me to do is to come in here and drill the holes for the the venting up. So I laid out for all the vent holes, but I think where the tubes come up, I'd rather have it hit the wall and then make it deflect out, so I'm not gonna drill the spots for the. So I got it all laid out, and I'm gonna come in here and I laid out every 1 inch, and I'm gonna put a 1/2 inch hole. So I don't know. Hopefully it works out good. Okay. Alright, I drilled a small pilot hole first, and I'm gonna drill. It's easier to control that on that round edge, so I'm gonna drill the 1/2 inch holes. Alright, I got all the defroster holes drilled. Now, and I'll be able to come in here and sheet off of this to tie in that 55 Chevy dash. So I'll just come right off the tube, and this will be actually welded in as part of the dash. But we got some holes that might put heat out towards the window. So, alright. So that's what the manifold looks like. So I got the 4 tubes that go up into that header that I built, and then I got defroster holes pointed towards the window. Maybe it'll work. It should. And so the bulkhead connectors, water will come in, and it's got that squirrel cage fan down there, and my power cord. I'm just going to hook it up to a switch. It'll just be on or off. It comes with a pot, but I don't know how well the motors will work with the pot, so Ohm's law, you decrease voltage and current goes up, by changing resistance. So it probably run longer if I just keep the voltage at the 12 volts that is recommended and just let it run high speed. So yep. Well, I hope you like this kind of stuff. Have a nice day.